Oh my god. I said it in my prediction video on Wednesday that tonight's Money in the Bank was going to be chaotic. It was going to be historic, and in the middle of one match in particular, I called my shot and I fucking called it. Holy shit, absolutely incredible. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, we've got the results of Money in the Bank. I'm not gonna waste any time. All I gotta say is holy shit. It was exactly that. Holy fucking shit. Toronto was on fire. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to the fans in Toronto. Y'all killed it. But let us kick things off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match that featured main event Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and of course Drew McIntyre. And what I find so interesting, and I've said this so many times over the years here on the channel, when it comes to the Money in the Bank ladder match, and again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, you never really know. You never really know what to expect. There are so many different elements that we could have seen. We could have seen CM Punk get involved. We could have seen the Bloodline get involved because of Jey Uso. We could have seen Logan Paul show up. We could have seen Santos Escobar show up. Hell, for all we know, we could have even also seen the Wyatt Six show up. But honestly, we got what I would consider to be one of the craziest ladder matches in history, and it was red hot. So many close calls. LA Knight came close once again to snatching that briefcase. Main event Jey Uso became the last person to do it, to try and grab it, but of course in the end Drew McIntyre hit Jey Uso with a Claymore and then ends up climbing the ladder to retrieve the briefcase. Thus, he is now Mr. Money in the Bank. And honestly, I'm not surprised. And I say that because when you think about it, ever since WrestleMania, Drew has been on the war path to try to regain the World Heavyweight title from Damian Priest after he cashed in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. He has tried his damnedest. But of course, CM Punk has always been the one to try and get involved. And of course has taken everything from Drew McIntyre. We've seen bodies get thrown everywhere. We've even seen Chad Gable you hit a German suplex using the ladder, which is insane. But of course, Drew McIntyre picks up that W. Honestly, I'm not gonna complain. I think this was I think. Do I believe it was the right call for Drew McIntyre to win? As crazy as it sounds, I believe yes, and I say that because of the fact that it was vindication. Yes, Drew McIntyre has said a lot of bad things, has said a lot of things about Money in the Bank. Yeah, he's been cashed in on twice in his career, but when you really think about it, and you think about you think about the things that Drew had done to try to get back on top ever since losing the WWE title to funny enough, The Miz via the Money in the Bank briefcase at Elimination Chamber almost 4 years ago. When you think about that, you think about everything he's done. He's headlined WrestleMania. He's been a part of Money in the Bank. He's main evented PLEs such as War Games, such as Clash at the Castle, both in Glasgow and of course in Cardiff. And not only that, he's even had opportunities at the Intercontinental title, the United States title, Tag Team Gold. Oh, my neck. And nothing. He has fell short. And honestly, most of the time, it's usually because of the bloodline. But nowadays, it's been because of CM Punk. And yeah, I do believe that this was vindication for Drew McIntyre. But the question is, did he actually make good on his word and said he would say he cashed in tonight? Guess you guys will have to continue to watch this video to find out. But overall, 4 stars easy. Yes, I do believe that Jey Uso did have that match won, but you know what? McIntyre winning it, it's all good. Not gonna complain. But we now move into the Intercontinental title match between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. This was basically the case of, I wouldn't say David versus Goliath. I would rather call it the battle of brains versus brawn. And no, I'm not talking about Braun Strowman. I'm more so talking about Braun Breaker. Brains versus brawn. Obviously, Sami is a wily veteran. He's had so much success in WWE. 4-time Intercontinental Champion, former NXT Champion, Tag Team Champion, WrestleMania main eventer. He's been a part of Money in the Bank in his career. He's had a lot of success in WWE, and this was basically the biggest test of his career. But as I literally have something in my eyes, you guys, I apologize. But it was also the biggest test of Braun Breaker's career as well, because if he were somehow able to pin Sami Zayn in his home country in Canada, obviously, yes, he would get a lot of heat, but it would skyrocket his career to heights we never thought possible. And honestly, I think just being in the match alone has proven that that he is ready for the main roster. However, I do believe that tonight was not his night, as we saw Sami Zayn hit Braun Breaker with a haluva kick to retain the Intercontinental title. And obviously, post match, Braun Breaker's expression was not pleasant. So I can almost guarantee that we might end up seeing the rematch at some point down the road. Could be on Raw this coming Monday, or it could also be at SummerSlam, or it could also be at Bash in Berlin. But before we even get to all that, I also want to bring up as well that during the show we also found out 2 things. Number 1, for the first time in over 20 years, the premium live event known as Bad Blood will be making its return to WWE. And on Monday's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, I will be talking about that. So make sure you guys get ready for that. So I'll be talking about the pros and cons, and also the 5 matches that we could see at Bad Blood. So be sure to get ready for that. But we also found out that next year's WrestleMania in Las Vegas will be John Cena's very last match ever in professional wrestling. Shoutouts to John Cena. Thank you so much, John, for over 20 years of incredible matches, historic moments, and incredible accomplishments, including being a 16-time world champion. Props to you, my man. I applaud you, and I tip the cap to you. The invisible cap. I tip it off to you, my friend. But now we move into the World Heavyweight title between Damian Priest and Seth freaking Rollins. Everything was on the line. If Priest won, Rollins would never challenge again. But if Rollins became champion again, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. And to be fair, we knew that there was a sense of urgency between both men. They went at it They went at each other right from the gate. And it was back and forth, absolutely incredible. Falcon Arrow, Broken Arrow, stomps, pedigrees, and they literally threw everything at each other. But of course, we knew that Drew McIntyre would indeed cash in, and he became a man of his word. He cashed in, but I called it. I said that we could end up seeing CM Punk return to attack Drew McIntyre, and indeed he did. He cost Drew McIntyre the world title once again, and we saw Damian Priest pin Drew McIntyre to retain the World Heavyweight title, which means a lot of things. Number one, McIntyre, once again, got screwed out of a title thanks to CM Punk. Number two, Priest is still a part of the Judgment Day. And three, Rollins became collateral damage in the fiasco of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, because now Rollins can no longer challenge for the World Heavyweight title, which, honestly, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, I've got nothing but respect for CM Punk, but I think it's bullshit. And I say that because he wasn't even involved in the decision. Yes, obviously Rollins did make the gentleman's agreement. Priest agreed upon it. But the question remains, should Rollins deserve another shot at the title? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Me personally, I don't know. I feel like he should. But at the same time, when you look at it from a fan's perspective, some would say that yes, Rollins does deserve another shot at the title, but I think that I think for Punk, he wanted to do two birds, one stone. He wanted to do two birds, one stone. Screw Drew McIntyre out of the title via the Money in the Bank cash in, and actually make Seth Rollins collateral damage, ensuring that he doesn't walk out Toronto World Heavyweight Champion. So in a way, maybe Rollins does deserve another shot, but it could also lead to a lot of things. Number one, Punk versus Rollins at SummerSlam, which would then lead to Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk at Bad Blood, which we could also see Hell in a Cell. Think about that. Bad Blood. In Your House, Bad Blood 97. First ever Hell in a Cell. How ironic. How ironic would it be if Hell in a Cell became a part of the Bad Blood PLE? Think about that. But all in all, aside from all the chaos and everything, absolutely incredible, absolutely solid. As far as the Intercontinental title goes, 3 stars easy. The world title match, I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Obviously, Rollins could have tried to stop the match, or rather stop the pin cover, but he was way too worn out, so there was no way he was gonna win. So, I kind of called it. I think I said that Priest was gonna retain, and I think I kind of called it. So yeah. But anyway, we now have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match that featured Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and of course Zoe Stark. And honestly, I'm not saying this to hurt the feelings of the people in Toronto, because I know that I've got some people from Toronto who are fans of the channel. So props to you guys. But I don't think there was any conceivable way that Chelsea Green was gonna become Miss Money in the Bank. And the reason why I say that is because here's the thing: she was in a interview a while back. I think like about a week or two after she had qualified for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, She said that if she became she said if she won the briefcase and cashed in on Bayley to become WWE Women's Champion, she was planning to bring back the Divas Championship, the WWE Divas title. Which, don't get me wrong, that title does have some form of history, but what's the point? What's the point? The WWE Divas title was a championship that the idea came from bad creative. Think about that. Think about that. It came from bad creative, and Chelsea Green wanted to bring it back. Come on, I think this proves that she's become an even worse Karen than we had all anticipated. Not trying to disrespect her in any way, shape, or form. I'm just calling it like I see it. But I will say this. Just like the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, bodies were thrown everywhere. It was absolutely chaotic. We saw power bombs, Samoan drops onto ladders. We even saw Naomi being forced to do a split using the ladders, which is absolutely insane. And just when we thought that Chelsea Green was going to actually win the briefcase, Tiffany Stratton pushed Chelsea Green off the ladder onto 2 tables for her to become Miss Money in the Bank, or as she likes to call herself, now Miss Tiffy in the Bank. And it is indeed Tiffy time. And now the question is this: with SummerSlam now over the horizon, and now that the match is locked in between Bayley and Nia Jax, the question is this: is Tiffany Stratton will Tiffany Stratton cash in on Bayley, or will she cash in on Nia Jax? That right there remains to be seen. We really don't know for sure. However, I can tell you that this was one that I think was one of the damnedest women's Money in the Bank ladder matches we had seen in a very long time. So props to all 6 women who competed. This was an easy 5-star match. I am not going to complain. As far as like whether or not there was like any other way that the match could have ended differently, at this point it's kind of hard to say. Aside from Chelsea Green, I feel like the one person that had the chance to grab it while she had it was actually Lyra Valkyria. Because think about this: if she did win that briefcase, she would have rubbed it in the face of Damage Control, and it would have tilted them like it was nothing. So that being said, aside from that, I think Tiffany winning that briefcase, I think was the right call. Although I do feel like Naomi should have won it, but that's just my opinion. But we now move into the main event, which was a chaotic one, to say the very least, between the Bloodlines, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and of course Jacob Fatu against Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And honestly, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, think about this. Jacob Fatu got put through a table by Kevin Owens. Tonga Loa literally just was knocked unconscious, but ended up hitting Kevin Owens with a low blow. The referee was down. The ringside doctor got taken out because of Jacob Fatu's foot, and amidst all the chaos, we saw something I never would have imagined we would ever see. Solo Sikoa pinning Cody Rhodes with a Samoan spike in the 6-man tag. This was by far the most chaotic match we had ever seen in all of WWE. with every 6-man tag team match that we have had over the years, this by far was the most insanely psychotic match of all time. Think about this. Think about this. Paul Heyman warned us. The wise man warned us that bringing in Jacob Fatu and the Gorillas of Destiny was the worst idea possible. Having those three on SmackDown is like having three natural disasters just flooding WWE. When you think of Jacob Fatu, hurricane hands down. Tama Tonga, tornado. And when you think of Tonga Loa, you think of a tsunami. And when you think of Solo, you think of the worst rainstorm in history. Literally, you have some of the worst natural disasters flooding Friday Night SmackDown. I don't know, something has got to give. But this could potentially lead Solo Sikoa challenging Cody at SummerSlam. But the question becomes, are we going to see Roman Reigns come back? Because there's been a lot of chatter that Roman Reigns is planning to come back the night before SmackDown on August 2nd. So there are so many elements that can go leading into SummerSlam, but we will have to wait and see over the course of the next few weeks or so. But overall, chaotic match, absolutely incredible. 5 stars easy. I mean, to be fair, Cody, Randy, and Kevin could have won, but obviously it was because of the man advantage that the Bloodline had was what made all the difference. Excuse me, but all in all, absolutely solid card. A lot better, I would say, than 2021's PLE. Would I consider this year's event to be better than last year's? No, honestly, I don't think so. I think the Bloodline Civil War that we had last year completely dominated the entire card. This one, you can never top the Bloodline Civil War, no doubt about it. But overall, the card itself, absolutely insane. 4 stars easy, not gonna complain. But we do have NXT Heatwave tomorrow night. Can't wait for that. It is gonna be absolutely electric. So get ready for Heatwave tomorrow night. And with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.